just going to set off on a mission this morning. What I'm wanting to do is to get myself a small barbecue. Now, I used to have a big one. It was a 4-burner, and I probably bought that more than 10 years ago. It got quite a lot of use when I had my mum living with me and the 2 grandkids lived downstairs with their mum. But in recent years, it just has not been used. And there's times that I would have liked to have set the barbecue going, but it just seemed so big just for me, or, all of that stuff. So when my daughter and son-in-law were here doing some work last week, I asked them if they wanted it. It needed a wee bit of a clean up because it had been sitting outside on a deck under a cover, of course, but it had got little rust spots all over it. So I asked them if they wanted it, otherwise I was going to dump it. Anyway, they said, yep, they'll take it and give it a bit of a clean up, and they can use it for the period of time that they're still left here. And so they took the big barbecue away. And so now I want to get a small one for me to use, just if I decide I want to cook a bit of steak or something like that, just a little one that I can set off, get going, instead of having to have fatty pans going in the kitchen. It's just so much easier to get the barbecue going. So that is my intention, and I'm heading off out now to see what I can find. I've already got a gas bottle, so that's no issue. I've just got to get some gas put in it, and it's an LPG gas cylinder. So I'm heading off down to a place called Mitre 10, which is the equivalent, I guess, of one of the big box stores in the US. But Mitre 10 is one of the biggest hardware outlets in New Zealand. There is another one called Bunnings. Now, the shops are probably a wee bit bigger. Things can be sometimes a little bit cheaper at Bunnings, but the reason I don't use Bunnings very much is, firstly, Mitre 10 is a New Zealand owned company. Bunnings is an Australian owned company. I like to support New Zealand companies as much as I can, and there has been the odd time where I have been to Bunnings and the service I've had has been less than desirable. That's a nicer way of putting it, I guess. But I've always found with Mitre 10, the service is always great. They've always got a great range of products in stock, and it's not very far from home. Bunnings is right next door, which is funny enough, but I still just prefer to go to Mitre 10. So, and I know they've got a good range of barbecues there. I've seen them advertising them, and there's a particular brand that I'm after. It's called a Weber. Webers come in various sizes. They do have a shop in New Zealand, the Still shop, which sells all the Still products, who I think they have the right to sell the upmarket Webers, which have got the temperature control windows on the top, the little dials and all that. Mitre 10 sell the ones without that added feature of having a temperature gauge on the top where you can keep an eye on what the temperature is inside. And I don't really think I need to have that, so I'm not going to go and get one of the more expensive models. I'm going to go to Mitre 10 and get one of just the standard models, because that's all I need. The other reason I'm heading off out today to do this is because today is the last day of the Black Friday sale. And of course today's Monday, the 1st of December. So today is the last day of the Black Friday sale, and I've seen them advertised with, they are discounted, so I thought I would go out and have a look and just see how much they are. I've had a bit of a search on the web, But there's a little bit of a difference between some of the models, and I just want to make sure that the ads on the website don't show as good a description. They don't show the inside of the model to see what sort of plates it's got inside, and I want to get one preferably with a grill and with a solid plate on it. So that's what I'm looking for, and basically just enough to cook a bit of food for 2 or 3 people, and something around that size. And of course, hopefully I can use it at Christmas when we have a barbecue for Christmas. And it's very hot today, and people overseas in the Northern Hemisphere are probably looking and thinking, my God, what is it so hot there for? It is December. But yes, we have a summer Christmas down here. Barbecues, salads, lots of outside activities. And I see parts of America are getting blizzards at the moment, so I do feel for you guys. Take care, everybody. But yes, that's why we enjoy our Christmas so much, because it is nice and hot and summery. And we get to do lots of outside activities, can open the house up. It's really good. So, and as I said, I think I've said on a video before, I've never actually had a Northern Hemisphere Christmas, so I wouldn't know what it's like to be sitting around on Christmas Day all rugged up while it's snowing outside. I've got absolutely no idea what that would be like. But it doesn't matter, I don't mind. I'm not particularly fond of the cold. I couldn't live in a place that had snow every winter. That would drive me nuts. So I'll just make do with my summery Christmas that we have down here. We still have occasionally like the big roast dinners and vegetables and gravy and hot Christmas puddings, but it can be a little bit overbearing on a really hot day. It's not bad if you have a cooler Christmas day, which happens sometimes, but on a really hot day it's pretty hard to negotiate your way around a hot roast meal with hot Christmas dinner and custard and stuff. It's just a lot nicer having a barbecue and some salads and a pavlova, which Kiwis will know what a pavlova is. Americans may not, but it's a meringue type dessert with cream over the top of it and strawberries, and it's a bit yum. I have it with fruit salad and trifle and all that sort of yummy stuff. So that's basically what we do at Christmas, and yeah, I'll carry on a bit more once I get to the shop. It's not too far away, but I'll stop rattling now because the traffic's a bit thick and a few traffic lights ahead. Right, I have arrived here. I was hoping to get a disability park, but they're all used, so I shall have to get just a normal park, which fortunately there's one right next door to the disability parks, and I've been fortunate enough to get a disability parking card, with my knees being the way they are and limiting my mobility, but that's okay. I'm just one park away from them. So now, right, I am at Mitre 10, and that has taken me 11 minutes, so that's not too bad. So the car park is fairly busy here. Looks like there's quite a big crowd, so I hope it's not too busy inside, but never mind. That's what we're here for, to do the job. So I'll turn this off at the moment and carry on in a moment. I'll switch back on in a minute. Right, this is Mitre 10, the big box store that I like to shop at. So that's that one there, and straight over the back fence is Bunnings. That's the opposition over there, but I do prefer this one here. It's the New Zealand based one, and car park's pretty full. Right, this is the barbecue section. Seem to have quite a good selection of barbecues here. That was like the one there that I had similar to that, that I gave to my daughter. It was too big for me, so that one bit the dust. I've had to do a voiceover here because there was some background music playing and it was very loud and I didn't want to get a copyright strike, so I'm just going to do a voiceover. This is the first unit that I looked at. It was a traveller unit, which was quite nice, but it had a very shallow lid on it, which I wasn't that happy with, even though it was all in one, and it had a little temperature gauge at the top there, and it was on a frame, and there was room down the bottom to sit the gas bottle. It was a nice little model, but the top of it was just a little bit low for what I wanted, in case I wanted to put something in there that was a decent size. So I think a lot of the stand is actually already assembled. Now coming in, that's the portable. It's $6.29 all up on that one. So then coming across to the baby Weber, this one's quite a bit smaller. The plate's not too bad. The trouble is with this one, the stand doesn't have wheels on it, and it's not high enough to hold to put the 9 kg bottle underneath. So that has to be either put to the side here or at the back. It cannot be put underneath because it's not high enough. That stand looks to be a wee bit easier to assemble for me, but that there isn't too bad. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, the top's a lot higher, so that's not too bad. But then of course with that one, the stand is separate. That's an extra $143.65. So all up there we're looking at $404, $504, $543, $550. And then on top of that, I would need to get a cover, which I think they go about $80. So that's that one there. Then we step up to the one that's a little bit bigger. This one's a Q2000N, whereas that one's only a Q1000. This one's a Q2000N, and it's got a bit bigger plate on it. It does have wings on it, which you can fit onto this one, but they don't come with the barbecue. And he looked at them and he said, even though they're out of stock, they're about $60 worth for the pair. Now this one has got a metal stand underneath. It's on wheels. It is high enough to put the 9 kg gas bottle underneath. The stand itself is a bit more again. That stand is, what am I looking at? $169 and $566 for the barbecue, and then of course there's another $80 to put the cover, to get a cover over it. So $560, $660, $720, $730, about just over $800 for that one, all up. For that one there, which seems to be the better option. However, the guy did say to me that that stand has to be put together, and it can be a little bit tricky if you're not used to putting stuff together. Now, even when I get stuff that says they're easy to assemble, by the time I get them home, they're never really that easy to assemble. However, I've got my son-in-law and daughter coming back up in a week or so he could probably do it for me. So that's that one. Then we get across here to the bigger version again. So this one is, and you can get this one in black as well, I believe. It's $6.99 is the price of that one. And it's got a solid stand underneath it, like so, and that's on casters, that one. And it's got a cabinet there that you can open up and put your gas bottle inside. And it is quite a bit bigger. No, it's this, yeah, a little bit bigger plate than the previous one I looked at over here. So, and that one there looks to be, oh no, that one's got, that one, as I said, is $6.99, and then your stand for that one is $2.45. So it's just a bit of a bummer that they don't come with the stand as a package, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. You put it on or you don't. Either way, it doesn't really matter that much. And the good thing I noticed with this one, with the little wings on the side here, you can hook your barbecue tools on, like so. So this one is starting to look like, no, not that one, the black one. So this one here is starting to look like my top choice, and I can have a go at putting that together. And if I can't, then my son-in-law can do it for me. Should be able to manage that all right. And that plate, of course, that recipe book would be quite nice. That plate has got some solid and some gruel, and underneath it there is a tray that comes out that catches all the drippings underneath. So that's good for cleaning purposes. So looks like your little off-on switch and then your dial over the side. So that one's looking more favourable to me, I think. So if I got that plus the stand and the cover to go over it, what did I say, $560, $660, $720, yeah, around $800. So all up $800, that's not too bad, I guess. So I shall see. Well, that was a purchase completed and a decision made. So you can see, just sitting there on my back seat, there is a Weber barbecue stand. So yes, that was good. The young guy that helped me, it was very, very helpful, which is always the way here, especially in that shop. But our lovely people, shopkeepers, are always very, very helpful. And they helped. I wheeled the whole thing back out to my car, and another young guy come out, loaded it into the car for me. So very helpful. And with these poor guys on the last day of the Black Friday sales, who've probably had a weekend from hell, and they still smile, still willing to help. And it does make it so much easier. It makes everything so less stressful. And just a hint to anybody that's going into a shop and they're in a stressful situation, having to do some shopping, which always is this time of the year, please be considerate of the people that are serving you, whether it be in a cafe, a restaurant, a shop, a big box store. These guys are working their butts off to earn a living. They're not there for the fun of it. They're there to try and do as good a job as they can to help you get through a stressful day. And all I ask is for everybody just to consider the people who are working in the shops and in the service areas. Just remember, they've got a Christmas coming up too, but they're the ones that are working their butts off. Try and make it easier for us. So to all the staff, all over Mitre 10, wherever I have ever been in Mitre 10 in New Zealand, I've always had good service, and if that is the motto of the company, good on you, because it certainly helps to keep stress levels down. I could even see in the shop there were people walking around and they were all stressed and wanting this and wanting that, and I'm thinking, just calm down. It's not the end of the world. The shop doesn't shut till 7 o'clock tonight. Just calm down. But yeah, I really feel for the people, mainly because I've got a granddaughter who's in the service industry, in the hospo industry, and works in quite a high-end restaurant, and tries to give the best service she possibly can. And a grandson that works in a retail outlet. I think he manages it, and he's there most of the time on his own. It's a boutique and outlet. So yeah, I feel for them. They all do a good job, and they're all working so hard in this hard financial time just to try and make a living, to make ends meet, to try and get ahead. Things aren't always as easy at times, like I remember having it myself in earlier years, but the economy of the world is in a different place right now, so I don't feel that it's anybody's fault other than the people that run the countries or something. I'm not really quite sure. I do have a thing against very, very wealthy people squandering their money on stupid stuff instead of helping people. I won't name names, but Mr. Musk, please, why do you need to go to Mars? Let's sort out the planet that we have at the moment, and you're well within your capabilities of being able to have a big influence, and all the other big multi-millionaires, billionaires. How about you dig into your pockets and start doing a bit of good instead of trying to build up your own wealth and flaunting it in front of everybody else, especially at this time when ordinary Joe Blow people are trying to make a living, trying to enjoy a festive season that's coming up, just trying to have a normal life, even though it's somewhat financially challenging. Have a think about those poor people, or not poor people, but have a think of the people that are struggling, and maybe just try and be a little bit more generous with the wealth that you have, because you can't say that that wealth has been earned by elbow grease and dirty hands. Most of it is just investing, not paying taxes, finding ways to evade tax to make more money. So I don't have a lot of sympathy for wealthy people crying over having to pay taxes. Oh dear, I have to. And so yeah, if you've got mega millions, billions, how about you try and be a little bit more caring of the middle and lower class people that are really struggling but are trying. So that's my little bit of a nip on that. Anyway, I'll carry on with this when I get home. Well, that's that done. I managed to get my barbecue and got it home, and my brother helped me get it out the car, but we got it in and that's all good. So I shall start looking at getting it unpacked and seeing if I can get the stand put together. If I can't, I'll get my son-in-law to do it when he comes up. So yeah, that's good. Good job done today. Very happy with that. And I'll just go through here and just quickly show the one that I did get. I've had to do a bit of voiceover on here because when I went into the hardware shop, they had loud music. Oh, birds singing. They had loud music playing in the background, and even though I recorded, you could hear the music in the back. So I've had to muffle that and done a voiceover, and so I don't get a strike for having music playing in the background. But anyway, that's all done, and I'm just happy to have that job finished. And I'm just sitting here looking at birds. I've got birds out here for everywhere. They're chirping away and carrying on, and mind you, the fact that I put wild seed down for them doesn't help. Never mind. Okay, so that's my little outing today, and I'll get on and get get the barbecue sorted out, and hopefully I'll think of something to talk about tomorrow. So that's my little spiel for the day. I hope everyone's having a good week. Take care, everybody, especially in America if you've got that storm going through. We've got beautiful sunshine here. It's lovely. And so I will ask everybody to please take care, stay safe, and I will see you on the next one. Okay then, bye-bye.